We have some breaking news now. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she will not seek re-election. In a video posted on social media, Pelosi's thanking the people of San Francisco and urging them to keep fighting to make the country a better place.
I will not be seeking re-election to Congress.
No!
With a grateful heart, I look forward to my final year of service
Nancy, no!
as your proud representative. As we go forward, my message to the city...
My Pelosi is quaking. This morning I woke up and my Pelosi was quaking. And I knew there was a disturbance in the forest.
I love is this. San Francisco, know your power. We have made history. We have made progress. We have always led the way. And now we must continue to do so by remaining full participants in our democracy and fighting for the American ideals we hold dear.
ABC's Jay O'Brien's on Capitol Hill.
Bro, she's so old. She got black and white footage at the beginning of her career. Like, what the fuck?
With more. Jay, why make this announcement now?
Yeah, Diane, Nancy Pelosi saying she won't run for re-election because of, in part, or at least it made today, because it comes after Election Day. Nancy Pelosi was integral in Prop 50 in California. That was that redistricting effort in that state that was successful, redrawing the state's congressional maps to try to get 5 additional Democratic seats. And Nancy Pelosi's office signaled that she would release a decision about what would be next for her after Election Day. And now that this video comes out, it is the turning of a very significant page here on Capitol Hill. Someone who had an iron grip on the Democratic caucus when she was Speaker of the House. Someone who's been in caucus rather...
How is she going to keep doing insider trading if she's no longer inside? If Paul Pelosi's portfolio dips the moment that she's out of Congress, I'm going to lose my mind, bro. Straight up. Just openly being like, yeah, we were doing it the whole time.
In Congress since the late 1980s. She was the first female Speaker of the House, known for, as she said in that video there, reminding Democrats time and time again, women in Congress to know their strength. They can get things done. Nancy Pelosi is seen as someone who was able to bend the Democrats to her will and get things done up here on Capitol Hill. One more. We don't know what will happen now with this seat. We don't know who is next in line for it. There's speculation up here on the Hill, but we're already starting to see some reaction trickling in from Democrats because there were some who expected this announcement, remarking so consistently, Diane, on Nancy Pelosi's strength.
Jay, Pelosi stepped down as minority leader 3 years ago, saying it was time for a new generation to lead. What does her retirement now mean for the Democratic Party?
Well, it is a new chapter in the Democratic Party, and it's just another signifier of that. When she turned over the reins to Hakeem Jeffries, now the top Democrat in the House, that was one of the first steps in the direction of a new era of Democratic leadership and a leaving of the decades, really, of Pelosi era of Democratic leadership, where you had an iron grip on the caucus, where Democrats were known for their unity, and their unity was their strength, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's a much different Democratic caucus with Hakeem Jeffries at the reins. But Nancy Pelosi, someone who was so frequently known for being a standard bearer for the Democratic caucus in the House, in her dealings with President Trump in the first term. Remember some of their fiery interactions in the Oval Office. Remember that moment where she ripped up President Trump's State of the Union in the first term. She was someone who could galvanize Democrats with her ability to stand firm in opposition to President Trump. But again, she was someone who was able to galvanize Democrats with her strength as well. We were just talking up here on the Hill about a quintessential Nancy Pelosi story that's probably less than a year.
She literally left us with Hakeem Jeffries, by the way. It's so cooked. Thank you, Nancy. All the glaze in the fucking world, and she just cooked our asses.
Year old, where she was on a diplomatic trip overseas and she fell and shattered her hip, and still, while wearing stiletto heels, as she so typically wore and still wears, she stood up, she gripped the arm of a fellow lawmaker, she steadied herself, she posed for a group photo, and then she went to the hospital for them to treat her for a broken hip. It is that strength that...
Oh, sick. Wow, what a story of perseverance, dude. Overcoming great odds. Yeah, man, my grandma did that too. I don't think she should be one of the most powerful women in the country, you know? A position that requires dynamism. And even my grandma, especially in that moment of being reminded of her own mortality would probably not call in to ensure that an 80-year-old cancer patient, Jerry Connolly, becomes the oversight committee head only to die shortly thereafter. Because that's what she did. She literally made phone calls from the hospital bed being like, hey, do not mistake this reminder of my personal mortality with any sort of interest in breaking the current gerontocratic seniority process that we have. I am more confident than ever before that we must have even older people in key positions of power in the Democratic Party. That's what she said.
Democrats so often rallied around, and now this is a new era.
Nancy Pelosi was much more competent as a whip than, Hakeem Jeffries is. Low bar, I know. The Congressional Budget Office hacked, according to Washington Post.
The Democratic Party, and it's the closing of this chapter with her deciding that she will not run for re-election come November 2026.
All right, Jay O'Brien, thank you.
It does. We're going to have the lowest prices anywhere in the world.
Oh, of course, Donald Trump has some choice words for Nancy Pelosi.
And your drug prices will go down 600, 700, 800%. And I'll be given no credit for it, because I never get credit for anything. But nobody else could have done this. So, Michael, thank you very much.
Thank you for your Nancy
Nancy Pelosi. I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad she's retiring. I think she did the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country. I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
He's going to miss her? No, he hates her. Earlier in her career, Nancy Pelosi actually advocated for single-payer health care. That was until she realized how much money she could make being corrupt and serving corporate interests. She will retire as just another corrupt politician who used the government to enrich herself. Or more accurately, until she realized it meant kicking union members out of their better healthcare plans and shutting down the Veterans Administration and appending Medicare. I love this fucking argument so much. Oh, how will unions have an upper hand? Like, how will we get people to join unions if everybody has healthcare? I don't know. Maybe they get to advocate for different benefits instead. There's still plenty of benefits that they could demand. Now the healthcare is taken care of. It's like saying we shouldn't have OSHA regulations because that way unions can collectively bargain for additional safety measures. We shouldn't have the fucking 5-day work week. That way unions can continue maintaining the 5-day work week, and then non-unionized employees can work for 7 days a week. Okay.